What if you had an AI assistant that could help students 24/7? It could answer their questions, guide their learning, help with writing, and give them quizzes and tutor them anytime, anywhere. That is exactly what an AI custom chatbot can do. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your own AI chatbot in just minutes. You'll be able to customize it with your own knowledge, let students upload files, and as a teacher, you'll get full visibility to students' interactions with this chatbot. Then stick around and I'll walk you through 17 powerful ways to use your chatbot for teaching, tutoring, feedback, and more. To create our custom chatbots, we're going to be using the tool EdCafe AI. This is an AI-powered tool designed specifically for educators to create content in their classrooms. Let's get access and get started from edcafe.ai. Here, you guys can create your account, and once you're in, we can click on Create New and the Custom Chatbot feature. Now we want to think about what kind of chatbot we want to create. You can make it a tutor, a quiz master, a writing assistant, whatever fits your classroom needs. I'm going to share some ideas on how to get you started next, but for now, I'll show an example of how we can use these chatbots as a science tutor that helps students with some physics concepts. So first we can type in our chatbot name. So I'm going to do a Newton bot here. Then we can also update our language if needed and add in any additional instructions. So these instructions are how you want your chatbot to interact with students. So here we want to make sure the chatbot is explaining Newton's laws, answering any student questions, and providing real-world examples to help them understand. Now we can upload any knowledge that we want the chatbot to refer to. Here I have a PDF that is just a summary of Newton's laws of motion with some different key terms and definitions. So I can browse here to add that. And then you can always add more files if needed. And let's go ahead and add in an image here for our chatbot. Excellent. Once that's all done, we can create our chatbot, save it in our EdCafe AI library. That way it's easily accessible for us in the future. And then you can go ahead and we can test out this chatbot here, or we can directly share it with students. So you can share it with students by clicking this Assign button here, and you can copy the link and share it with them this way, or you can also embed this into your LMS system, or use Google Classroom or Teams, or simply just have them scan that QR code. So let's open up a new tab here and explore the student side of this chatbot. So if I give this chatbot a name, it will greet us and we can then have a deeper discussion with this chatbot. In addition, students can also upload any documents. So let's say a student has a science fair project on Newton's second law of motion. We can actually ask the chatbot to help us with this. So I'll ask the chatbot to review our document and see what kind of feedback it provides. So we get a nice project overview and some feedback on our hypothesis, and then some materials and procedure along with some questions that we could further ask our chatbot here. So maybe we don't understand that first law of motion. We can ask the chatbot to explain a little bit further, has some different key concepts, and then also includes those real-world examples that we ask for in those additional instructions as well. Back over on your teacher side, you can exit out of this Assign Chat and click on this Chat Sessions, so that way you can see your students' interactions with this chatbot as well, which is super important. That way you can have clarity on how they're interacting with this AI. So you can see that quick overview and click into one of your students' names to review that chat history. If needed, you can also always delete that chat session or copy it or export it for future use. So there you go. It's pretty easy to set up a tutor bot here. You can use this for similar subjects in a very similar setup. But what are some other ways that you can use these AI chatbots in your classroom? There are endless ways, so make sure that you check out the blog that's linked below. But now I'm going to go through 17 different ways that you can use coming up next. Number one is a syllabus or document Q&A assistant. Imagine a teacher who's constantly asked about the syllabus. Instead of answering the same questions repeatedly, you can allow your students to ask questions about the syllabus, classroom rules, or any uploaded document to the chatbot instead of emailing the teacher. So we can take a look here. I have a safety chatbot made with a PDF about an employee training manual. From here, we can take a look at the additional instructions to only refer to the information in that document and to only answer questions that are relevant to the document. And if the chatbot doesn't know the answer, instruct the students to email the teacher instead. So we can take a look at a quick chat session from a student. So what kind of personal protection do they need? And the chatbot is able to reference that document and come up with an answer. Then it also asks, the student asks, what should I do if there's a fire? And the document doesn't actually provide that information. So the chatbot has said, if you have further questions, email the teacher for more information. Number 2, create your chatbot to be an IEP helper. This helps teachers track student accommodations, suggest some differentiated strategies, and provide IEP-aligned responses. So if a teacher needs to accommodate several students with different learning needs, the IEP support chatbot can provide personalized support by generating those detailed IEPs also. So if we take a look here at this IEP chatbot, we can see in our additional instructions that we want the chatbot to ask the teacher for a student background details, including some strengths, challenges, and accommodations. And then the chatbot will generate an IEP plan with these specified sections. So we can take a look at some chat sessions. So this is a great way for teachers to take advantage of the chatbots. So if we take a look here, we can see that we describe our student and the chatbot asks for a couple more pieces of information before it then goes ahead and provides that IEP plan for teachers to use. Number 3 is a math problem solver chatbot. This guides students through challenging math problems, helping them break down all those complex problems step by step without just giving the students the answer. So we can take a look at our chatbot here, and for these additional instructions, we want students to input their math problems, and instead of giving that final answer, make sure the chatbot can ask the students for the first step and then provide hints and some error checking. If it does need to explain a solution, do it in multiple ways without giving the correct answer. That way, if they make a mistake, they can explain the error and students can try again without just jumping straight to that final answer. So we can go ahead and check out our chat sessions here, and we have a couple of different responses. So this is a word problem here, and it starts breaking it down by different questions. So it's not just providing students with that exact answer. And plus, you're able to go through and review and see where students are struggling. Number 4 is to use the chatbot as an essay reviewer. For example, students in an English class can upload their essays, and the chatbot can provide personalized feedback on structure, grammar, and style, allowing the teacher to focus on more complex aspects of their teaching. So if we take a look here at the instructions, we want this chatbot to act as a supportive mentor, helping the students identify any, like I said, grammar, spelling, and clarity issues that could be in their writing without having the chatbot totally rewrite their work. So the chatbot can also provide any constructive feedback, but also ask students their writing goals and what areas they want to focus on to improve. So let's take a look at some of these our chat sessions here. So students can actually upload any handwritten work, a uploaded document as well, to get that feedback. So here we have an image of some handwritten work, and the AI is able to analyze that and provide some different spelling and grammar, clarity, and structure feedback, along with asking what areas they want to improve further. In addition, students can also just upload a Word document as well to get some feedback. Number 5, an exam prep and study partner. Before a big exam, students can turn to a chatbot to upload their study materials, and the chatbot can generate practice questions and custom study plans tailored to that specific student's strengths and weaknesses. Let's check it out. So here we can also see we have our name of our chatbot, and our instructions are to greet the students by generating some practice questions for them to answer. That way, the AI can suggest a study plan based on how the students answer those questions. So if we take a look at some of our chat sessions, we can see that Belly here has answered some of the questions, and then the AI has responded and let her know if the questions were correct or not, and then provides those study plan suggestions for to do next. Number 6 is pretty unique. Role-playing scenarios for SEL. This encourages students to practice their conversations, debates, or any real-life social situations. For example, you can have a scenario to help them develop empathy and problem-solving skills. So here we have a chatbot named Alex. So it's actually a upset friend chatting with a student who wants to play soccer, while the student might want to play tag. So we want to start by asking how the students are and what game they want to play. So really trying to role-play a real life scenario here. And we don't want the chatbot to prompt them one way or another. We really want to see how the students handle this conflict and any resolutions that they can come up with. So if we take a look at some of our chat sessions here, we can see that the chatbot has started a conversation, and we've continued to talk about that conversation, whether we want to play tag or soccer. So each student has a little bit different, answers to the questions, so you can go through and see how your students are doing in these social situations. Number 7, using the chatbot as a foreign language practice partner. This provides students with conversation practice in any language, offering some real-time corrections as well. So here I have a chatbot set up to help students practice their beginner level Spanish. So the chatbot can converse with them in Spanish, role-playing, ordering at a coffee shop, and then in addition, if there is any mistakes in grammar or spelling, the chatbot can provide a correction in English. So let's take a look at some of our chat sessions. So here we can see that the student is responding to the questions about what to order, and it provides some feedback in English. That way students can understand, but then goes back to our Spanish to continue that conversation. Number 8 is a dedicated quiz bot. This turns any study session into an interactive quiz by continuously asking students questions without revealing the answers right away. You can add in your own documents for the chatbot to refer to as well, but the bot will also can ask a range of questions based on the students' answers, so the quiz becomes a little bit more challenging as they go. So we can take a look here. We want the chatbot to greet our students by randomly asking them those questions about the solar system without sharing if they got the answer correct. So we want the chatbot to ask 10 questions before giving them a score. And if they get it correct, make those questions harder, and then provide a summary of the student results at the end as well. So here we can check out our chat sessions. So we have our different questions here, and if we go through all 10 of them, then you can see we get this summary on what is correct, what was incorrect, those results, and ways for that student to improve before they take the exam. Number 9 is to set it up as a research assistant for some independent learning. This helps students explore topics or summarize documents. This can be great for little kids to do together in class, for example, to learn about penguins, or older kids can use it to help summarize some research documents. So for the younger students, we have one set up here for Paul the Penguin, that the chatbot is just there to help students learn about penguins. So if we take a look at this chat session, the students in the class, the teacher could also chat with this. So as asking the penguin questions, can you swim? And it explains about how penguins like to swim, and then also what they eat. So you can continue asking the questions as if you're actually speaking to a penguin. And so those instructions are just, you're a penguin named Paul. You love to swim and slide down icebergs with your friends. Greet those students by asking them a question, and ensure you tie students' questions back to you so that they learn about penguins. For older students, I have a chatbot here to help them get some summarized key points and some discussion questions based on any research documents that they upload to the chatbot. So here we have a chat that a student has uploaded a PDF, and the chatbot has provided some key points and some discussion questions. That way the conversation can continue going, or the student can take those questions to do a little bit more research elsewhere. Number 10, a historical mystery quiz. This allows students to solve a mystery by answering history-based questions correctly. So each correct answer can reveal a new clue, and students can find the final answer for the mystery. So here we have the instructions for our chatbot is to greet the students by presenting a mystery or a historical event. So students with some background information. So students can ask questions to get some more information and answer questions to unlock that information as well. So they must answer those questions, and once they answer enough, they can guess that final answer or the solution. So if we take a look here, we get some background information about the Titanic, and the student can continue asking some questions and answering them to get that final answer of what could have happened to the Titanic. Number 11, survival challenge quiz. With this chatbot, students must answer questions correctly to survive different scenarios. So that way they can test their knowledge in subjects like science, geography, or emergency preparedness. So here for these instructions, we want to greet students with a survival scenario and then quiz them on how to stay alive with some short answer questions. So we also provide a couple ideas like being lost in space, surviving in the wilderness, or out at sea. So once students have answered 10 questions, the chatbot can let them know if they've survived the task or not. So let's take a look at Ellis's here, see if he survived. So we get some questions along with some background. So he's lost in the wilderness, limited supplies, and what should you do? So answers a few questions there on different aspects with these multiple choice questions. And then lastly, we can scroll down to the bottom and see that he's answered all 10 questions and made some good choices, but there's still some areas to improve. So then that way they can go through the quiz again and continue until they survive. Number 12, talk with a character. With this chatbot, students can engage in a conversation with a famous character or a real-life person, allowing them to explore literature, history, or creative thinking in a fun and immersive way. You can provide the chatbot with a list so that students randomly get a different character, or you can tell the chatbot to be one person. For example, they could be Abe Lincoln like we have here. So we want the chatbot to speak in that formal, reflective tone with wisdom and humility. Then refer to the historical events that happened during his presidency. So if we take a look at our chat sessions, we can see that the students ask Abe a question, he answers in his tone of voice with some information that he would know, along with some other things like what was the biggest challenge, and even what would he like to do with his free time that can be answered as well. Number 13, create a science lab partner that guides students through virtual experiments. It can ask them to predict outcomes and even help with lab report writing. So here we have an example, a Lab Genius chatbot. So the instructions are to ask students for their experiment details, a hypothesis, materials, a procedure, and help them analyze their data by asking some guiding questions. In addition, we also have imported our lab rubric grading. That way the chatbot knows kind of what the teacher is looking for as well. So let's go ahead and check out our chat sessions. So we have the student has uploaded their lab report and the chatbot has provided a quick summary and wants to dive deeper. So ask the student what their hypothesis was, and then analyzes their data with some other questions. That way students can go ahead and dive a little bit deeper and understand their data without just having the chatbot fully edit and review their lab report. Number 14, a financial literacy coach. This chatbot can teach students about budgeting, saving, and financial decision-making through some interactive scenarios. So here we have a money mentor that we want to have the students be greeted with real-life financial situations. Like for example, you have $100, do you spend, save, or invest? And give your feedback based on those financial principles and introduce budgeting concepts to students as they progress through the chat. So let's go ahead and check out one of our chats here with Chad. So it has that same example of $100, he wants to invest it, and then the chatbot provides a little bit more information about investing. And then we go through some information about stocks and paying off debts. Number 15 is a poetry mentor. This can help students analyze famous poems or write in their own different styles as well. So here we have our verse master that should greet students with poetry prompts based on different themes or poetic structures. And then if students can type out their poems, it can offer feedback on rhythm, imagery, and word choice while encouraging them to refine their work on their own. So here we have a chat session with Hadley, and let's see, she has a quick poem that is written here. And the chatbot provides a lovely start and some feedback about imagery, rhythm, and that word choice like we suggested. Number 16 is a fun one too. This is a Riddle Master. So with this chatbot, it can challenge students in logic puzzles and math-based brain teasers to help them develop their critical thinking skills. So here we have a puzzle bot as our chatbot that we want to greet the students with riddles and encourage them to think out loud or break it into different smaller clues. And the chatbot can offer hints progressively instead of just those direct answers to celebrate their creative thinking. So let's take a look here with Quinn's chat. So the chatbot provides a riddle, and Quinn has said, is it water? And the chatbot says it's close, but not quite. Here's a couple more hints and different ways to think about this riddle on what it could be. And then it gets a little bit closer, again, celebrating their unique guesses until the student finally gets it correct. And lastly, number 17, we have a reading bot. This helps students explore phonics, vocab, and comprehension through some interactive storytelling, or just by analyzing a passage and getting some information based off of that. So this helps with their reading comprehension skills. And here we have a chatbot named Cherry, and it should greet students with a reading passage about US history. From there, we want to ask a mix of short answer and multiple choice questions to help with that reading comprehension and critical thinking skills. So for the short answers questions, they can be essay style, so that way students are practicing their writing skills as well. So here in our chat sessions, we can take a look at Piper's chat. They have a quick passage about some US history along with some questions. So we have a short answer, a multiple choice, and another short answer, a multiple choice as well. So we start with that short answer question, a brief short answer response here, and then get some feedback based on their response as well. And then we go through some of those multiple choice questions along with some critique and a quick summary of their responses and ways to improve in the future. These 17 chatbot ideas showcase the endless possibilities of AI in education. You can try out one of these chatbots in your classroom and see the impact firsthand. Don't forget to subscribe ClassPoint channel for more AI-powered teaching strategies.